Hello everyone, the Kentucky Patriot here. I want to do a video here, kind of a twofold video. One, I want to introduce you to somebody, and two, I want to talk to you a little bit about protection dogs or dogs in general. When it comes to home defense or self-protection, a lot of times we think of weapons, we think of firearms or alarm systems, but a lot of times a dog can also be a great asset to you. So I want to introduce you to my little buddy Shadow. Unfortunately, we lost Bullet a little while back. We still got Biscuit, we still got a little yellow lab. So we got Shadow. Shadow, come. Shadow, come. Shadow, sit. This is my buddy Shadow. He's almost 5 months old. I love this little guy. He's got some big shoes to fill. Like I said, we've lost Bullet. If you've seen my other videos, we've had Biscuit, the little brown dog, which Sadie, the little yellow lab, I introduced her. And then Bullet was in a lot of my videos. Well, Shadow there, he's replaced Bullet. But I want to talk to you a little bit about dogs in general, and I want to tell you right off the bat, I don't want to pretend to be something that I'm not. I am not a professional trainer, and I'm not a veterinarian. I'm just an average Joe who's had dogs all my life, and we've had literally about every breed you can imagine, from hunting dogs to beagles to German Shepherds to Labs to Dalmatian to mixed breeds to Park Pyrenees to literally, if it's been a canine, just about, with a few exceptions, we've had them, and we love dogs. I currently got 3 right now, but now this isn't in a book, or this isn't something you'll find on the internet. This is just in my mind. But I have 2 kinds of dogs categorized in my mind when it comes to home defense or personal protection, and one is a guard dog and one is a watch dog. Okay, and I do want to try to, I'm not trying to knock anybody's dog breed, but you have to understand, I hear this and it's just absolutely not true about, well, you can teach basically a dog to do anything. Well, part of it, dogs are trainable, I understand that, but you have to understand your dog breed, because a lot of it depends on your dog breed. I know there's some instances of inbreeding or different things where dogs may not be what they should be, but if you have a normal dog that's a good breed, a good line, they're going to do what those dogs do. I know that kind of sounds silly, but it's true. Like a beagle is going to act like a beagle, and when all the beagles we've had over the years, when you have a beagle, you don't have to teach them to sniff the ground and hunt rabbits and trail. They do that automatically. It's unbelievable. When they're not, I mean, they're barely come out of the womb. They open their eyes and their nose is to the ground. You know, now we've had to train some of them, like to come, because they get out, call them. But in general, beagles do what beagles do. And now within that scope, you also have dogs that can, and I've seen it happen. Biscuit's sister, we got her at the same time. We had 2 dogs out of the same litter, the same time, the same age, and their personalities were different. Now, they were mixed breeds, but their personalities are different. So you have to understand what you're getting and what that dog is or isn't capable of, and be realistic, okay? And there's pros and cons to a dog breed, but I actually would recommend dogs over your typical weapons like firearms, not in the place of firearms, but what I'm saying by that is, if you have to use firearms in a self-defense situation, meaning they're already in the house, I'm all for you having the right to defend yourself, but what I'm saying is, if you have a dog outside that alerts you and barks and the perpetrator decides not to come in at all, that's a better option. Like I said, I'm not telling you for a dog to take the place of a firearm, but if the battle never comes to you, great. Or even protection dogs, like I know a lot of single women will be in the cities and they'll have a dog walking right with them, and that's a great deterrent, and I'm telling you that deters a lot of people. Now, and I don't claim to be a professional trainer, but these dogs, you can train them very easily, and or you can take someone and have them trained, but we train our own, and like a German Shepherd, they're a very sweet, loving dog, very affectionate, great with people, but you have to understand that they are a pack mentality. Who they get used to is who they care for, and they will protect you and guard you. A Doberman's also a good breed, but you have to know the pros and cons. Like a Doberman, you can't leave them outside in the wintertime here. In Kentucky, it's too cold. Where a German Shepherd, they thrive in cold weather. So you have to kind of know the do's and don'ts. But I just want to introduce you to Shadow. He's my little buddy. I love him. But I will say this, you have to understand that a dog is a lot of work. And you have to spend time not only training him, take him to the vet, get him shots, their food, and feed him quality food. there's a lot that goes into it, and we treat ours like family. So you can't just have one for protection, just leave them tied up all the time. I'm not against you having to crate them or tie them up on occasion, but they need to be ran. They need to have exercise. They need to have a lot of stimulation, but they can serve you well. And the difference between a watchdog and a guard dog, in my opinion, is there's a lot of dogs that will fall into the category of watchdogs. For instance, my mom and dad had a black lab years ago, and harmless, wouldn't hurt a flea. But here's the thing, if a stranger pulled into their driveway, she jumped up and she had a bark. She was just a little black lab, but she had a bark where if you were an intruder, I don't think I am going to go up there, because that sounds like a Doberman. You know what I mean? Well, it wasn't a Doberman, it was a lab, but they didn't know that. So that could be a great watchdog. Even your tiny indoor dogs, as we get older, you notice you don't see as good as you used to and hear as good as you used to. A lot of older folks can have a little indoor dog, and they can alert you that somebody's outside way before you're able to hear. They make wonderful watchdogs. Now, if you're looking more into a guard dog, without going into breeds that is exotic breeds like a Tibetan Mastiff or a Presso Canarius or a Dogo Argentino, something like that. But the more common breeds, like for protection dogs, me personally, I would recommend a German Shepherd. We've had them over the years, love them. I do like Dobermans. There's other breeds you can have too, but you have to understand some breeds are not protection breeds. Even though they may be a larger breed, they're not a protection breed. They're not going to protect their home. They're not probably going to protect you. And that's not saying that they don't make great pets. That little Biscuit out there, that little dog, we love her. But I'm telling you, she's the sweetest little girl ever was. But for a morsel of bread, she'd go with whoever. I'm not kidding you. She'd trade us in a heartbeat, because she loves everybody and she don't care. Now, Sadie, my little lab, she loves everybody and she's super friendly, but at the end of the day, she comes back. She's ready to be home. She's ready to be with her family. Now, the German Shepherd, he's with us all the time. Now, he likes company, but he is very much pack oriented. And that's the way they are, and they're fiercely protective. And a lot of times when people get bit by a dog, we think they get a bad reputation. It's not the dog's fault. It's lack of training, or people don't understand what the dog's. Because here's the thing: he's sweet and friendly as long as we're here. But a German Shepherd, when a stranger comes in, that is their natural instinct, is to be a shepherd and to protect, and that's what they will do. We're huge dog lovers. I can go into a lot of detail about a lot of dogs. I don't want to make this video too long, but you have to understand the dog breed, and sometimes even professionals don't understand a dog breed right, or even trainers, they don't really understand, because dogs a lot of times will grow and progress differently. And for instance, there's a lady, she's a widow, older lady we went to church with, and she got a German Shepherd, and the reason she got it, the police said that this dog wasn't aggressive enough. They like a dog with a high drive. Well, whoever trained them didn't know what they were talking about, because I'm telling you, as that dog got a little bit older, that dog watched out for that lady like a hawk. And let me tell you something, that dog was sweet, that dog was friendly, but if you step foot on that property, let me tell you, that dog would eat you up. And it wasn't being mean, it protected his owner, that elderly woman, with its life. And I don't know who said it didn't have enough drive, but like I said, until she came outside and give you the okay, you did not want to trifle with that dog. And again, that's not that dog being mean or aggressive. That dog didn't go out of the yard and do that. But when you come on its territory, it is possessive. And German Shepherds are that way. They'll be possessive with their property, their house, their people. And just like even the Bull, when we take him to mom and dad's, he was friendly with everybody, but if a dog across the street barks or something, like he didn't hear it. But now if a dog comes on his territory and acts aggressive, then that's a whole different ballgame. They are very possessive when it comes to land or people. So like I said, this isn't even going to scratch the surface of dogs and canines. But I would recommend, absolutely positively, if you live anywhere, basically, you can have a dog to fit your lifestyle. Now, if you live in a tiny apartment and you can't exercise a dog, German Shepherds aren't going to be for you. They have a high drive, they shed, they have a lot of drive, they want to run, they want to go. On a farm, they're perfect. But just because you may live in an apartment don't mean you can't have a dog at all. There's other dogs, and basically all dogs do need some sort of exercise, but some dogs don't need near as much exercise as others. And you have to understand how to train, understand the dog. They're very smart, they're very intelligent. But you have to understand that the dog don't understand language, and me saying it louder or more aggressively doesn't purvey what I'm trying to tell him. You have to train him and show him. And German Shepherds are willing to please. They want to please. And like I said, I love them. There's all kinds of dogs, all kinds of dog breeds, but I think a dog can be a huge asset whether you are wanting a watchdog or a guard dog type. But like I said, I just want to kind of show you Shadow, my little buddy, and mention about watchdogs and the difference maybe between watchdog and a guard dog. But a lot of times, even if they're not a guard dog breed, if they'll just bark, that can deter a lot of bad things, okay? And that's what we want. At the end of the day, believe me, if I can not have somebody break into my house, if I can not use my farm because a dog was barking, that'll tickle me to death. And a lot of times, that's all it takes. It doesn't have to be necessarily a guard dog. It doesn't have to be a Cane Corso or Doberman. It can be just a lab barking, because a lot of times home invasions and bad guys, they want to be quiet, they want to be discreet, they don't want noise, they don't want lights, they don't want a lot of things. They want to try to be as quiet and sneaky as possible. And when a dog raises the alarm, they don't like that. So if we can have a dog, and like I said, don't just use them for that. Take care of them, love them, make them part of your family. But if we can use them in that aspect to deter crime and to keep your family safe, man, and give a dog a good home, it's a win-win for everybody. If you want more videos like this, if you want some training tips, or if you want me to tell you more about a German Shepherd, any other breed of dog, or experiences, or working lines, or protection dogs, whatever the case may be, just leave it in the comments below, because this is kind of a new avenue for me. But I just had the dog. I thought how valuable they can be. He's almost 5 months old, and I thought it'd be a great time to introduce him. But anyway, if you would do me a huge favor, like, share, and subscribe. Check me on Instagram and Facebook. We wish you and yours the very best. May God bless you, the Kentucky Patriot. Signing off.